welcome in everyone to 215 Cinema. We're here to discuss our movie draft, do a little halfway through the year check-in, and see who's doing better according to our metrics, which Avi will go over in a little bit. Avi, how are we doing today, buddy?
Doing good, doing good. Weather's great. 4th of July as we record this today. Probably not when it comes out, but when we record, as we're recording, it's 4th of July. So, what's there to complain about?
America. America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many hot dogs are you putting down in the 10 minutes of the contest?
So with the bread, I'm thinking it's interesting because I don't think I'll be able to do half. Half's like 25, 30. I don't think I could do that. Of like
Yeah.
these actual competitors, right? Go ahead, 10 minutes. Hot dog for give me like 13. What about you?
I'm thinking 9 or 10. That's all I got. I don't
9 or 10?
got the heart for it.
I would try it, but I'll never do that because I'll just feel just awful after.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
But yeah, maybe I would be a little lower though, because those would add up. That's like a hot dog a minute for you, and
Yeah,
I'd be a little over that.
I was gonna say, I think I could start off fast, like maybe like 3 in the first like 2 minutes, something like that, and then but as soon as that wall hits after about 5, I think probably I'm cooked.
Oh yeah, I would be too. Yeah. Oof. And then they just do. You got to like dip the buns in the water,
Yeah, that's so gross.
soften them up. Oh,
It's
it's
so gross.
it's disturbing. I kind of forgot it happened today.
Yeah, I
I know
didn't
it's
watch
every
it
year.
'cause, Joey Chestnut wasn't in it. If he's not in it, we're not watching.
He's the greatest athlete. All
He's up there. He's up there. That's for sure.
he's number one. Like if we're counting every sport, he's in terms of records, in terms of his stats, he's
Yeah,
leaps and bounds better than anyone. He really is.
got it. Can't argue
Yeah.
with that.
But Avi, want to read off what movies we picked a couple months ago and how we're gonna score our draft.
Yeah. So beginning of 2024, we did a movie draft, pretty much drafting movies, and then I have a list of parameters we scored them by. So those parameters, box office is one of the 4 categories for box office. 100 mil. If it makes 100 mil worldwide, you get 1 point. If it makes 500 mil, you get 3 points. If it makes 700 mil, you get 5 points. 700 mil or better.
Damn.
And
I
then,
don't think has any movie made 700 mil this year. I know we're gonna go into it later, but I don't feel like
yes,
anyone has. Really? Oh,
2.
I
I think
think
2 off the top of my head of the ones we have so far. Or I can do it. I can tell you them now because I haven't.
Inside Out's one, right?
I was about to say Inside Out 2. I think has already cost a Billy.
Yeah, that I remember I went to that and just families, just like dozens of families just filtering in all day to go
Yeah,
see that.
yeah, it's crazy. And then Dune 2.
Damn it.
All right,
All
and
right.
then so box office, like I said, and then we had Oscar nominations, which we won't know until um next year, pretty much. So we
Yeah.
had for each nomination 1 point. For a win, it's 5 points, so we don't know any of that yet. And then for Letterboxd, we did 2 rating systems. We did Letterboxd to kind of get like a user, just your average person outlook, and then we did Metacritic, kind of get the critic score about it. So for Letterboxd, if it's between the 3.7 and a 4, you get 2 points, and if it's above a 4, you get 5 points. And for
Yeah.
Metacritic, which is kind of a notoriously tough grading curve, 70 through 84 is 2 points, and 85 and up is 5 points. I don't think any of our movies got 85 plus on Metacritic.
Oh, I would guess most movies didn't even get above. There's probably a couple above, like over 4 stars on Letterboxd is pretty rare too, I would say.
Mhm.
It's always like right around. Are we doing over 4 or at 4 and above?
Over 4.
Over 4, yeah, because you can get like
One
there's a lot
one
of
did have
3.8s,
4.
3.9s in there.
One did have exactly 4, but it didn't get over 4.
Damn.
But
All right.
yeah, so for me, I'll go through my movies first. So I'm at a total of 26 points. We're about halfway through the year. So Dune 2 got me 12 points. And that was my number 1 over pick. Jackson, how do you feel looking back on it? Me getting Dune 2 number 1 overall?
I still wouldn't have picked it at number one after watching it, just out of spite. Um, but yeah, it was definitely a good pick. It was gonna make the box office, which we saw it did. It'll probably get critical acclaim. If it wins Best Picture, I don't know what I'll do with myself. I'll be very upset. But yeah, overall a good statistical pick. Just emotionally, I wouldn't be invested in it.
So that Dune 2 alone got me 12 points.
It's pretty good.
And then for right now, I'll just read through all the movies that have come out already, and then I'll get to the ones that we haven't seen at the end.
Okay.
And then Civil War got me 3 points, which I don't think I would draft it had I known what it was going to be now, just because I didn't like it that much.
It's pretty good. Pretty damn good.
It's all right.
Alex Garland, he's whatever. Whatever. Continue.
Challenges, 4 points. That was the one that is exactly at 4.0 on Letterboxd, I think.
Yeah,
And Monkey Man, 4 points. Love
that's a
Monkey Man.
great pick. Great pick.
Doesn't even come close to the 100 mil at the box office, really, but that's all right.
Monkey Man didn't?
No, I think it was
Damn,
like
that's tough.
40 mil, 35 mil.
Yeah.
And then Kung Fu Panda 4, which I didn't even see, to be honest, is at 3
I
points.
I liked it personally.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that was
Like
just huge
people said
box
they didn't really
office.
like it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
So yeah, I'm at 26 points total. And then for you, Inside Out 2 is your leading vote or leading point getter with 9 points.
Okay.
Um, like we said before the box office, that's looking back on it now, that really should have been my animated pick. Just the whole Pixar of it and how it was always probably going to be a better movie than Kung Fu Panda 4, just rating wise and things,
But
stuff like that.
you did see it, right?
No, still haven't seen it.
Oh, you gotta watch it. I thought it was
Saw
really
the
good.
first one.
Really excellent, in my opinion.
And then Kinds of Kindness just came out last week. Um, so box office really isn't important for it yet, but Letterboxd and Metacritic, it does not have either of those. So it has 0 points right now, Jackson.
Yeah, it's definitely tough with Yorgos because any film he makes, and me included, it's very divisive. I think that I'm coming around in kindness the more I think about it. I really like that film. I really like Poor Things. Sacred of a Killing Deer, did not enjoy. The Lobster I didn't really enjoy. So it's kind of hit or miss with him for me.
Still very excited to see it just because the trailer. I like the trailer.
Yeah.
Furiosa has 5 points for you. Good pick. I pretty much regretted not getting this just because I had it on my list last time, but I just totally skipped over it. And I really wanted it, and I thought it was a good movie, and I liked it.
May I suggest something to you going back to Kinds of Kindness? After you watch it, I watch sometimes with like very like weird and abstract movies. I'll watch like explanation videos after
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. And I watched one that like really helps me kind of put it more into perspective what I saw. So I'll send it to you if you want to watch it because it's kind of interesting. It explains a lot of stuff that I kind of
To be
missed.
honest, Jackson, I'm not gonna watch that.
Well, I won't send
I
it.
just, I just don't. I don't even like watching YouTube videos really in general.
You're a
Like if
weirdo.
for stuff like that, I'll just like hop on like something like Kinds of Kindness explained to just like read something about it on like Reddit from some nerds. No offense, nerds. I love you guys. I'm a nerd.
You are a nerd. You don't why you read. Our generation doesn't read, Avi.
Facts. And then Quiet Place Day One, you also drafted. That's got 1 point, just box office. It's
That wasn't very
pretty
good.
good box office though.
Wasn't a very good
Still
movie,
need
if
to
I'm
see
being
it.
honest.
I don't know. Some people liked it.
It was okay. It's a little cheesy. You'll get that
And
pun
then,
later.
and then Hitman got 2 points, but this didn't really get a theatrical release. But I'm pretty sure it did a bunch of numbers on Netflix. So I'll give you another point, honestly, for that, just because it didn't get a theatrical release.
I'll
It's
take
a,
it. We can figure that out later too. Because I should have known at the time when we did it. But that's
so
cool. I liked it.
that brings your total to 18 points. So you're
Okay.
8 points behind, Jackson.
It's okay. Where we like to be. Always to be in second. We're gonna come up and steal it at the end. Let's go to the movies we haven't watched though. I think that's the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, so for your list, I'll just keep going with your list. So you have Megalopolis coming out in the fall. I forget when, but in the fall sometime. Um, I really don't know if you'll get any points from this. I'm really
I don't
excited
think
for
it's
it.
gonna be very good. I
I'm really
don't.
excited for it, and I got high hopes, but I don't know if you'll get any points for this.
From what I've heard, honestly, it's a mess. What I've
I love
heard,
a mess.
but
And
we'll
then
see. We'll see
Joker 2, I think that's gonna get you some points definitely.
for sure. For sure.
Nosferatu will get you some points as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a balance though, so it'll get me awards in terms of, or give me points in terms of awards, and probably like reviews, but like box office, probably not. You know,
Yeah, but Joker 2 will do box office. It'll
I
probably
might
get.
do both.
I
Yeah,
think Joker 2 is gonna get at least 700 mil.
yeah,
And then
which is crazy. It's just
yeah,
names, man. Names are so huge. Like Joker, Batman. It's gonna be a musical about the Joker. Like what?
yeah.
We'll see. But,
And your last movie is Wolves with Brad Pitt, George Clooney, which is Apple production. So I don't know if it's gonna go into movie like cinemas, but we'll see.
thinking back on it now, there's a lot of other films that I probably would have taken.
Well, hold on there because we are going to do an Improv 2 pick 3 more movies for the rest of
That's
2024.
right. That's right. I forgot about that in
Yep.
the episode.
So those are all the movies you have left this slate. So I think Joker 2 and Nosferatu in particular are 2 heavy hitters for you that are gonna get you right back in and maybe leading it. And
Yes,
then
sir. What do you have that
yeah.
you missed out?
So for me, Gladiator 2. Did you see the first look for this?
No.
So they released a bunch of photos of Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington. It looks great, and I cannot wait for this movie. I think it's gonna be
Y-
awesome. Ridley
I
Scott.
I hope it is, man. I hope. It's one of those films that I've heard, and most of the stuff is just me listening to podcasts and stuff, looking at tweets, just kind of the rumor mill before a movie comes out. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Gladiator 2 coming out,
Really?
and it's kind of tough because it's such just a beloved film, the original Gladiator, that the second one, there's a lot of pressure for it to be, it doesn't have to be that good, but it has to be close. And that's really
Yeah.
a tough bar to reach.
I've been hearing good things. Only good things. That's the only thing I've heard about it so far.
I hope so. They should have brought
And
Joaquin back, different role or something.
and then my another movie I have coming out is Blitz, which is Steve McQueen directed, who did 12 Years a Slave and some other movies as well. Blitz is supposed to be big Oscar kind of movie. Saoirse Ronan is the star of it. It's about I think the World War II bombing in London, I believe. And yeah, I'm very excited for that. And then Deadpool and Wolverine in a couple of weeks. I think it's just going to be a box office
That's gonna do
insane
well.
hit.
Yeah.
And then We Live in Time with Florence Pugh, Andrew Garfield is coming out this year.
Damn, that's a good pick. Those are two of
And
my two of
I
my
wasn't sure that
faves.
was coming out. I wasn't sure it was going to come out this year. I took a risk when I picked it, but looks like it paid off because I think it's officially coming out this year now. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I like it for sure. Um, yeah, I mean Andrew Garfield, one of my favorite guys, actors working today. Florence Pugh, great actress. My favorite from her, Midsommar, of course. Have you ever seen Tick Tick Boom on Netflix with Andrew Garfield?
No,
I'm
it's
sorry,
with
he got robbed when
him and
I think
Vanessa
Will
Hudgens.
Smith ended up winning the Oscar that year. He got robbed.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm trying to remember that year, but I thought
Well,
I was
it was
hearing like not Will
good.
Smith. Well, I was hearing Will Smith probably deserved it, and then I was hearing some other like actors. Like they said, a lot of people were saying Andrew Garfield obviously should got nominated, but I'm not sure if he was like one of the like consensus.
Yeah, maybe not consensus, but in my opinion, I also watched a YouTuber do a review, and he also said he was the best. So I'm like, yes, finally, like my thoughts have been
Oh,
reestablished or resaid. So
oh yeah, it was Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth were the other two. Denzel in particular, I heard really good stuff about that.
well, I think Benedict was up there for Power. Hey, did you see Power of the Dog?
Yeah, we talked about this before. We talked.
Did you like it?
we've done this like 4 times.
No, we have. God, it feels so long ago now. Snoozer. But okay, so that's what you got there. Andrew Garfield, GOAT.
I feel great. I feel great. Did you
Okay,
watch the
so
Social Network last night? By the way,
what do you say?
I rewatched Social Network
Yeah,
last
that's
week
some
last night.
bullshit, Avi. That's some absolute bullshit. I saw that.
What?
You know why.
That's so bullshit. I don't know
You know
why.
why. You know why you're smiling. You have a film that you need to watch.
Oh, speaking of which, so
You
I
have a
went
film
to
you need
Barnes.
to
I went.
watch.
This is a tangent. I'll go off on a tangent real quick. I went to Barnes and Noble yesterday because they're doing a Criterion sale, 50% off. Blah blah blah. So I'm just looking through movies and I see Shawshank Redemption,
Oh, yes.
and I'm like, you know what? I might as well. I might as well just skip right by it and get another movie. And so that's what I did. I got Lay Samurai. I haven't seen it, but French film. It's supposed to be one of the coolest movies ever, up there with Heat.
Can
Can't
I
wait.
mute you? Can I mute you? I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
I mean,
That's
you
awful, Avi.
disrespected On the Waterfront, buddy.
I didn't. I thought it was a really good
You
film.
said Civil War had like as good of a screenplay or it was debatable or whatever. I don't want to hear that.
I thought it was better. Civil War is my shit. I love Civil War. I thought it was incredible.
You're
But
insane.
no, you gotta watch Shawshank, man. Trust me. If you've got to take out the hate, you gotta take out the hatred for me and just watch it.
Oh, I'll watch it, and then I'll give it 4 stars no matter what.
God, it's brutal. You walked by it. You walked by it, and it's disrespect on another level.
All right.
But anyway,
You want to get to drafting? We each draft 3 more movies.
yeah, you can. Let me look at the graph we have here. I'll let you take the first pick.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I know what I'm gonna
I
take
mean, I got
first.
first pick in the draft earlier, and I'm in the lead.
Fine, I'll take the pick. I'll take the pick. Number one, there's probably movies on here that are more anticipation going in to the next couple of months before the year's over. There's probably movies. I shouldn't say it will be better. No, I don't think they'll be better. I think the best movie to come out for the rest of the year is a little film called Long Legs. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
I am. I saw the trailer. I don't know, maybe like a week ago or something. I kind of forgot about this movie, right? Then wasn't really thinking about it. I may have saw it once. This looks like an incredible horror thriller involving a serial killer FBI agent. I'm so excited for this. I really hope they don't let me down because this is kind of one of my favorite styles or genres of film. And it gives me Seven vibes. It gives me Silence of the Lambs vibes. Obviously, those are some high bars, but man, I'm so excited for this film.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this.
It has very good reviews so far, too.
Yeah. So I like that pick. It's a good pick
Yes,
for
sir.
me. I think I'm gonna go with Honora. Have you heard of this movie?
I have heard of Honora.
Yeah. So
I think
this
I heard
is
there was a sex scene in it. This is a total different conversation. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they said there was a sex scene in it. That's all I know about it.
yeah. So well, it's about a sex worker. So
Oh,
that
well,
tracks.
that makes sense.
That tracks right there. But so this premiered at the Cannes Film Festival and a couple months ago, and it won the Palme d'Or, which is like the prize for best movie or whatever. And
Yeah,
so it's directed by Sean Baker, stars Mikey Madison. It's about a sex worker that has a romance with like the son of some Russian power player, like high up in the government, I think, or something like that. But it's kind of
interesting.
a comedy, drama, romance type movie, and really feels like it's up my alley, something I'd like. And yeah, wanted to pick it.
Very interesting. I like the pick. I've heard some really, really good things about it. And with my pick, I'm gonna go ahead and take Sing Sing.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I was thinking about taking this. Yep.
One of the more talked about movies, and if you listen to the whole like way too early Oscar nomination stuff, like Sing Sing's up there. Coleman Domingo is supposedly has one of the performances of the year. Day 24, which I love. So I'm very excited to see this movie. And the name is pretty fun. I like Sing Sing. I think that's a good name. But yeah, it's coming out pretty soon too.
Have you
I
seen
don't
the
know
Have you seen the
how.
trailer for this?
No, I actually have not.
They they showed it when I went to see the bike riders a couple of weeks ago. They showed it in front of that, and I thought it looked interesting. It looked pretty good. So yeah,
Yeah. So it's
definitely good.
essentially about a guy who committed a crime they didn't or sorry, he was in prison for a crime they didn't commit. And those kind of movies are interesting. I like that. I like
All right.
that. I feel like Coleman Domingo's going to play great. He's going to have a lot of emotional layers in this. I think it'll be really cool. But
Yeah,
yeah, it did really well at TIFF. I'm excited to see it.
we're still like 8 months from the Oscars, but this is one of the early Oscar favorites, I'd say.
Yeah. All right.
And
Oh shoot, we didn't do what do you call it? Snake order.
I don't. Did
Oops.
we do that in the draft? I don't even think we did that in draft. I think I like wanted to, and then you were like, "No, we can just do it back and forth."
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we just keep doing it that way. It's easier, honestly.
All right. So the next movie I'll take is, man. There's. I think I'm gonna take The Apprentice, and for
Interesting.
one reason only. My boy Jeremy Strong, Kendall Roy, the eldest boy in Succession. He is playing Workone. Sebastian Stan's playing Donald Trump in this movie.
Yes,
Um,
that'll be interesting.
I don't know if you heard this, but one of the NFL owners financed it, then didn't realize it was not going to be like pro Trump, and so now was trying to block its release.
Do you know which
Yeah, it's I'm blanking now, but I know it's like Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
he's tough.
stand-up dude. Have you heard some stuff about him?
Yeah,
Just a great role model.
might be the worst person in America.
Great role model, just like our guy Trump. I mean, I won't get political, but
But yeah, I think this movie will be pretty good. Like I said, Jeremy Strong, Sebastian Stan, I like those two actors. At worst, I think it'll get a couple Oscar noms, and yeah, just feels like a good pick here.
yeah, I like it. What was the name of it again? I'm spacing on the name.
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice. Ah, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how he'll do his voice because I mean, I'm not a fan of Trump, and I feel like a lot of people aren't, but you can't deny that like his voice and everything, it's very engaging. Like I'm very excited to see. He's such like a bigger than life personality and stuff. I
Well,
don't think he's a good
it's
person,
interesting because
but
it's him like younger, so I don't know what he sounded like younger that much, really.
yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. So there's a couple left I'm thinking about here. But I have to go with my heart. I have to go with my heart. One of my favorite horror movies in the last couple of years was Smile. I'm going to go ahead and take Smile 2.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
Smile 2 is coming out in October. The trailer doesn't like blow me away or anything, and I don't know how I feel about them making a second one because I thought the first one was so good. And I don't know if I've ever told you my story about seeing Smile. Have I ever
I don't
told you
think so.
this?
No.
Okay. So essentially I went for the first time and watched it. And the premise of the story is essentially there's this smile monster, air quotes. It's like this, you can't see the thing. It's a monster that's invisible and it makes you kill yourself. Kind of a
Interesting.
weird premise, right? Weird
Yeah.
premise. But when you kill yourself, when there's someone near you that sees it, then the smile monster transfers to them and
Hmm.
eventually kills them. Like a very weird concept. It sounds weird, I know, but it was really good. And the first time I saw it, I'm like, this is a weird movie. It's kind of disturbing. I didn't really vibe with it, but I kept thinking about it. Right, I kept thinking about it. This is a very interesting kind of concept of a movie. I went back and saw it a second time. Loved it. Blown away by it. I thought it was had a ton of really deep messages and a lot of the stuff that happened, even though it was kind of like a fake premise with the monster and stuff. But yeah, so I ended up seeing it like 3 times in the theater when it came out a couple years ago. But very excited for Smile 2. I just hope they don't mess it up, honestly. That's the biggest thing.
All right. Yeah. So definitely wasn't gonna pick that. But you probably already know that just because.
Yeah, I know. I figured you wouldn't. I figured Sing Sing maybe, but like the
Yeah,
other
some
ones,
things
I
I
was
thought
figuring would be
about, but
available.
yeah. So for my last film, I'm trying to decide: do I want to go with, be one of the people, or be one of the, pretentious type Oscars? Make pretentious type pick. And
Trust your heart, man.
the thing is, I want to see both these movies. Like, but I'm trying to think: do I care about wanting to win more, or like just a more vibes movie, like I did with Monkey Man, which was a great movie. But I
Pick
think I'm gonna
pick
go
whatever
with
you want. Don't care about winning. It's fine. Just pick what you want.
think I'm gonna go with Conclave.
Okay. Interesting choice. That is another movie that's for sure up there on Oscar boards. Why did you select it, Avi?
Um, Ray Fiennes. I think so. Ray Fiennes is the lead in this movie. If he wasn't the lead in this movie, and it was like someone else I didn't really care about, I don't think I would have selected it. But he's such a great actor between Grand Budapest Hotel, Schindler's List, the Menu, Harry Potter. He's just one of the best actors the past 20 25 years.
Can
And so this is a movie about Pope. I'm trying to remember which Pope it is, but it's about finding a new Pope for the Catholic Church, pretty much. And it's kind of a thriller-based film, and it comes out in November, and it should be pretty interesting. So
Interesting. I like the pick. So, on a kind of different topic here, I have such an interesting thought here, an interesting take. I think Yorgos Lanthimos is essentially a crazier or sicker individual, but he's Wes Anderson, but crazier. He really is. Now, I know you didn't like the one Yorgos film you saw, but it's so interesting. His last movie with the short films ideas were very similar in like style to the way Wes did it. And it's like Wes is like more colorful and like kind of more positive, I would say. And Yorgos is more dark and just weird. Like Yorgos, bro, I hope he gets some I like the dude. I hope he gets some therapy though, because there's some weird shit he has in his movies. Um, but yeah, just keep that in mind, Avi. Keep it in the back of the brain. Trust me.
Wes makes like good movies though.
He makes good movies. I think Yorgos does too. I think he's a little bit too.
I'm just kidding.
The,
The only one I've seen is Poor Things.
the issue I have with Yorgos is a couple of his older films. He does this very monotone style of voice, and it's just kind of. I think a lot of people love it, but it kind of turns me off to the movie sometimes. It's just
Yeah,
I don't even know how to explain it. It's just very weird, and I don't really think it really adds to the story. I think it's just kind of a thing he does because it looks cool, or he might think it adds to the story, but for me, it doesn't. So it kind of takes me out of it. But
yeah. I can't really speak on that. So the only one I saw is Poor Things. But
yeah,
yeah, I'll let you know what I think about that take when I see Kind of Kindness.
Jesse Plemons is incredible, by the way.
So just to recap, what's the three movies you took this
I
time
took
around?
Long Legs, which I think is going to be the movie of the year. I'll say it. Shit. Sing
All right.
Sing and
Yep.
Smile 2.
All right. See, I'm surprised with the Smile 2 pick. I thought you were gonna go with a different kind of horror movie.
What do you think I was going to take?
Hold on, let me pull up the name of it real quick.
Maxine?
No. Have you are you excited to see Maxine though?
Kind of. So I have a weird relationship with the trilogy, right? The first movie's X. I actually watched that after Pearl.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed X. I watched Pearl first, which is the second out of the trilogy, so maybe it didn't make as much sense to me. I really
Mhm.
disliked it. Like really
Oh,
disliked it.
really?
Yeah.
So, I thought you were gonna take Night Bitch. Have you heard about this movie?
I've heard of it. Only today though. Like I watched a bunch of Oscar stuff today. So
Yeah, Amy
what's it
Adams is supposed to be
about?
really good in it.
Oh, she's in it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's an interesting name for a movie.
kind of. I'm really not sure what it's about. It's just here's the little synopsis on Google. An artist who pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom seeks a new chapter in her life and encounters just that when her nightly routine takes a surreal turn and her maternal instincts begin to manifest in canine form.
Huh.
Yeah, so I'm
Interesting.
not really sure what to make of that.
So Scoot McNairy's in it, who every movie I've seen with him in it, he's the bad guy.
Really?
Yeah. I'll yeah, you just look up Scoot McNairy. And he's in a ton of movies though. He's not like a huge name, but yeah.
What movie did I take besides Conclave and The Apprentice? I'm blanking.
You also took Honora.
You're right. Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
One. Here's a couple movies nobody picked. Like you said, Maxine, Night Bitch, Twisters, Trap, the
I
M Night
almost took
Shyamalan movie.
Twisters.
I almost took Twisters and Trap. That's what I was deciding between those two and Conclave for my last pick.
Yeah. I hate that they showed the thing in Trap. And I get it because that's not like the whole movie, like the twist. It's not like a
I don't
huge
think that's the
twist.
twist. I don't think that's gonna be like the real twist. I think there's gonna be the actual twist that they haven't shown yet.
Well, that would be cool if it's like, yeah, okay, that'll be interesting. If there is another big twist, I'll be happy. I just hope it's not straightforward and yeah, okay,
Yeah, and then Beetlejuice, the new Beetlejuice sequel or whatever, Alien Romulus,
yeah.
um, and then just a bunch of others really.
Have you seen this movie, The Wild Robot?
No, I've heard people say that's really good though, or that it's gonna be really good. I don't know. Has it came
Okay,
out yet?
here's my thing, right? The animation and stuff looks great. I just saw it was number 10 in an Oscar prediction.
Hmm.
I'm like, what is this movie? It's this robot that just like starts living with animals and like running around in the trailer. I'm like, did y'all like really run out of ideas? Like this is just I don't get it, Avi. You
I
might
kind of
be able
like
to
it.
enlighten me, but I don't buy it.
I kind of like it. I like the premise.
I don't.
Why? What? Anything specifically or what?
It just why is the robot living with the animals? Like I don't maybe we'll figure it out throughout the
Yeah, I was gonna
movie.
say maybe we'll find out more about the movie when the movie comes out. Wild guess.
Wild Robot really sucks. I'll tell you what. I haven't seen it, but it's a 2 out of 5 stars. It was awful. Yeah.
So
But
we
anything
both.
else we could discuss? What's up?
So are there any movies? I was gonna say, are there any movies that have came out already, but we did not draft that you wish you had drafted?
It's one of those things we did the draft too late. I would have loved Late Night with the Devil. Thought that was a really good horror movie that came out. I think it was January or February, so it was before we did the
Mhm.
draft. That was great. I liked a couple horror movies that came out earlier in the year. A movie that came out like a month ago, maybe, in a Violent Nature was really interesting. I love the way they did that. It was almost like they showed the guy walking a lot, and it reminded me of like a video game kind of thing, like
Mhm.
premise. So I really liked that movie. Um, those are the only things I can think of off the top of the dome. But what about you?
Yeah, there's two in particular. One is the Bike Riders. I think I thought about taking this last round, which is last time we did this, but I just didn't,
Yeah.
and really enjoyed it. Don't think it's fantastic, but like as far as this year goes, it's in my top like 8 or 9 ish, I think. And then
Okay.
Bad Boys Ride or Die, which is probably one of my most fun times in the movie this year. So
I
yeah,
didn't see that. I'm sorry.
hell of a time, man.
I might just wait till it comes out and streaming and watch it.
Wow, you just want to kill movie theaters? It's fine.
No, I go
It's
weekly,
fine. No,
Avi.
it's fine. It's fine.
Avi, I go weekly. I go weekly, bro. Like I'm looking at my letterbox. It's like movie theater movie at home, movie theater movie at home, at home, movie theater movie at home, movie theater movie. Like there's a lot of movies like in between that I'm going to movie theaters for. Um, what's your thoughts on Hitman though?
Yeah. So Hitman. I said this before I saw it, but I was like, why isn't this movie out in cinemas? Because it was a really good time, and I'm pretty. It did numbers on Netflix. Like we don't know. I don't think we know like specifics, like how that translates to like box office. But I know a bunch of people that watched it, and I've seen a bunch of discourse about it online everywhere, and it seems like it has like a real kind of cultural footprint. Glenn Powell, Adria Arjona, and I really love this movie. It's kind of a kind of rom com romance movie drama for the first hour, first 3/4 of the movie, and then it kind of transitions to something a bit darker at the end. And really wasn't expecting that, but it's pretty interesting turn.
Yeah. So Gary Johnson, played by Glenn Powell. I don't want to spoil anything, but like with what's her name, Madison, who plays the other lead character. Like
Yeah,
I don't
Adria
I don't
Arjona.
blame I don't really blame Gary straight up.
I think she's pretty like great in this movie. Like
She's really good.
the only other thing I've seen her in is TV show called Andor, and she's pretty good in that. Like that was one of the best shows like 2022.
Yeah.
But like she just was in a smaller supporting role, so you didn't really get to see her that much. But she was really good in this. Her and Glenn Powell.
Yeah, they were great. Very it was good. It wasn't like a top tier film for me by Richard Linklater. That's the fifth film I've seen by him. And I would say it's probably like middle of the pack, third or fourth maybe. But it was really good. It was funny. It was a very funny movie. Glenn Powell has such a great like stage presence, and he was great playing all these different characters throughout. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. Thought the action was good, and it wasn't
Who's your
slow at all.
favorite? Who's your favorite alter ego that Glenn Powell put on?
Didn't he do a Russian dude?
I think so. Yeah, my
Yeah,
favorite
I like
was the
that one.
American Psycho kind of gimmick.
This is my problem. Like I've addressed millions of times on the show. I watch a movie. I remember the general things that happened. If you ask me to remember a certain scene, I'll be like half the time be like, I don't know. I just remember the way it makes me feel. Same thing with places, food. Um, but yeah, I think the Russian one I can recall a bit. That was good. And
Why are you sending me that?
what?
Did you this social network?
No, that was earlier.
Oh, why is that troublesome? For I'm referencing, to be clear, Jackson just I got a text. I just saw my phone and saw a text from Jackson. So it's my letterbox rewatch of Social Network, giving it 5 stars, and he said, "Bruh, what are we doing here?"
You know why? Because you need to watch The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, first off, one, Social Network, I wasn't really watching it. It was just on while I was playing a video game. It was just kind of background noise, but I was kind of locked in on it as well
Cap. Cap.
because I had seen it before. So I like throwing something I've seen before just for a little white noise. And
Yeah.
then Shawshank, Jackson gave On the Waterfront 4 stars. In a vacuum, I wouldn't care that much. But I've seen some of the other movies Jackson gives 4.5 and 5 stars, and he doesn't even show enough respect to finish it in one sitting. What are we doing here? It took him like 3 days to finish this movie.
Not too.
Of course, you're not gonna like a movie it takes you 2 days to finish.
Hey, straight up. Straight up. No, I shouldn't say that. I could watch a great movie, and if I start dozing off, I'm out. I'm out. Like, it was good, though. It was definitely good. And I think there was a bit of a. It's tough for me with older movies, I would say, for the most part. Just because visually it just doesn't look quite as good. It's just the way it's a little bit slower
So you hate
typically.
old movies?
No, I don't hate old movies, but there's
All right. Name me,
much
name
more
me,
of a
name me,
barrier to get
name me
through.
3 movies you like before 1970
Okay, before
that
1970,
you
I'm
like,
gonna go
not that you've
with
just seen that you
I'm gonna go
like.
with Rear Window. It's up there.
Okay.
I gotta go with I'll go with 12 Angry Men, a film that Avi showed me. Really enjoyed that film. And then before 1970,
Yep.
Wizard of Oz is up there. Um, The Birds is up there. Uh,
When's the last time you watched Wizard of Oz?
it's been a while. I mean, it's great though.
Are you just naming movies you've seen that are older?
No, 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 no.
You don't
And
even have a rating. You don't even have a rating for this on Letterboxd.
for what?
Where's Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. No, to be fair, I get the point you're going to. I do not watch a lot of old movies. And I'll see what I have on here in terms of oh, wait, 1960s. Let's see if I have any in the 1960s. Oh wait, how do I do this? I can cut
You
this
can
out if I need to.
you can sort by like earliest release date if you click on like your films, and then
Yeah.
like the oldest one you've seen is On the Waterfront right now, based off what I'm seeing. Based
Oh,
off the
keep reading it. On the Waterfront. What else?
12 Angry Men, High
That
and
was
Low.
great.
Did you see High and Low?
No,
Well, it says you've seen it.
I don't know. You've told me this before. I don't know. I think I must have accidentally clicked on a movie.
By the way, High and Low coming out next year. Spike Lee's remake. Can't wait.
Interesting.
With Denzel Washington, Ice Spice.
What do you say?
With Denzel Washington and Ice Spice.
That's something I've never thought I would hear from anyone. Denzel Washington and Ice Spice in a film together, directed by Spike Lee. That's gonna be a time. I don't know if it's gonna be a good time. That's gonna
Oh,
be a
it's gonna be
time
a
at the
hell of a
theater.
time. I can't wait. And then
Wow. Interesting.
The Godfather is 72. The Shining
Yeah.
is, and then The Shining is 80s, and all everything else 80s up.
Yeah. I would say I don't really watch old movies to be honest. Maybe I
Look
should
at you.
watch a little more.
On the Waterfront is just such an amazing movie. I get why there's it is a complicated movie in the sense of like I'll get into it real quick, but Elia Kazan is the director of the movie. Great director, but so during like the Red Scare, you know what Red Scare is?
Yeah.
So during the Red Scare, he turned a bunch of people in for being like whatever communist or whatever, and so a lot of people think he made this movie as a way to justify his snitching or whatever, when really what he did was nothing like what Terry does in the movie.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of complicated history with it. But as far as the movie
Interesting.
itself, it's just so incredible. The cast is like one of the best casts of all time. The screenplay, it's wonderful. Some of the best, maybe the best quote of all time. And I could have been a contender monologue. It's just
The it's
fantastic.
it's exceptional. Until you get to Hookahville. It just doesn't sound right.
How does it not sound right?
It's just you could have went with something else. Like Pookaville. Ugh.
Palookaville. What's like
Palookaville.
that doesn't even make sense. What? You could have went with something else.
I could have been a contender. And then it was great, great, great. It's like Polkaville. What?
That was my night. It was his night, man.
No, I will say Marlon Brando, as much as like there's a lot of old movies that you love and that I can't quite get into. Marlon Brando, the two movies I've seen, Godfather and On the Waterfront, Marlon Brando is truly exceptional. He's great.
Yeah, he's definitely one
I
of the
really
most
like him as
incredible
an actor.
actors.
So
Yeah.
I might have to watch some more of his stuff. Even if I don't love this movie overall, like I think I'll like his performance. So
But yeah, what have you recently watched that we have not talked about today? One movie you recently watched you've liked.
Shawshank Redemption is a movie that I really love and I've seen before. Recently? Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. Well, define recently.
like within the past week or two.
No, I will say I watched Disaster Artist, and I'll do this sometimes. I started it yesterday, I finished it today. Actually, no. I started this movie a week ago and then got sidetracked with a bunch of stuff. Started it again last night and then finished it this morning. Really good. James Franco and his brother play the main roles. And it's essentially about this film called The Room. Have you heard of The Room?
Sounds
It's
familiar.
like notorious as the worst movie of all time, or one of them at least. But it's like really famous because it's awful,
Mhm.
but it's actually really funny because of how bad it is. I've never seen it personally, but essentially it shows the making of this film, and the movie is really good. James Franco was amazing in this film, playing the character who was just this really odd dude who's from overseas, but we don't really know where he's from. We don't know how old he is. He thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's like the best actor ever, but he's really awful, like awful. And Franco just did a great job in this role. And usually you just see him in these movies, and he's just that like funny guy, same character every time, But he was really excellent in this film, and I thought it had a great blend of being funny, serious, really sad at times, and it wasn't like an amazing film, but it was just really good. I, I don't know, it was very interesting. So,
Yeah. So I haven't seen that, but yeah, definitely sounds like an interesting
yeah,
kind of.
you should watch this on Max. I might watch the
Mm,
actual movie now. We'll have to watch it for our worst movie draft, The Room, because that's just the
Man,
famous
the
one.
worst movie draft. I don't know if I could put myself through that. That might be a you and Caden. You
No,
and
you gotta do
Caden.
it. It's gonna be so fun, Avi. It's gonna be so fun. We can find some short films too, if you want.
And then one movie I recently watched, Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. It's a time loop movie. Time movies,
Oh
like time
God.
travel, time loop, stuff like that, they always kind of bother me just because like
Amen to that.
it is they're just hard to think about when you really start thinking into them.
Wait,
But like
wait,
that's not
wait.
like
You don't like time hopping movies or
no, I like them. I just like
oh,
I always get like hung up on parts of it sometimes, but like it doesn't
interesting. I
really
was gonna have a lot of questions about your guy.
about
You
who
know.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen Tenet and what Inception doesn't have time like stuff. I don't think Inception's time stuff. Interstellar's there's a time aspect, but I don't think that one's
I got my
as
cat.
bad.
Come
But
here.
yeah,
Did
Edge
you
of Tomorrow. Tom Cruise is they're fighting humans versus aliens in a war, and he keeps dying over and over again. And so yeah,
I've heard of it. I haven't seen
yeah,
it, but was it
he's
good?
really good in
Was it a good
it.
film?
Yeah, he's really good in it. Emily Blunt's really good in it. And then like the cut to end credits is like one of the best I've ever seen. All time
Interesting.
vibes. Yep.
Um, so switching topics a little bit. I'm only like halfway through The Bear. How do you feel about it so far? Have you seen the whole thing? How,
I just finished episode 8 today.
Okay, I'm about 5 episodes into it. I'm like, I feel kind of not a whole lot right now from it.
It's not as good as the other two seasons.
Yeah,
I still like it, but it's not as good as the other two seasons.
yeah. It's like there's less of them cooking in the kitchen so far, which I've kind of missed. I just like I like that vibe in there. It's really intense. I think it just looks visually really cool when everyone's cooking, and it's just like a lot of pressure when there's a dining service, and I think it adds a lot of action to the film.
Yeah, it feels not gonna get into any specifics to spoil it for anyone who hasn't caught up, but it feels some people, some characters are kind of stuck in place.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying it. Yeah, I still really like the bear.